such thing. Yes, Darren, we were terrified.
Didn't he tweet in last week saying he was excited about the cup final? I remember seeing something like that.
Yeah, I think he texted that in. He essentially said that he wasn't worried about it.
Has he got a ticket?
I don't know.
Yeah. It was the text we had into the studio, not one we've made, obviously. The real text we had from Darren Ferguson last week. All the real texts from Darren Ferguson said that they would stuff us, basically, and they weren't worried in the slightest. But I don't think that's what actually happened. What actually happened?
Well, what happened was, I don't really know what's happened to them, because when we played them back in like August and wherever it was, I thought they were actually alright, but they were a total... They weren't even a shadow of their former selves, were they?
They've lost
appallingly bad.
Some Belonga, haven't they? Yeah. I think that's a massive loss.
That certainly made a difference. Yeah. Did Tomlin go this season or last season?
Last season.
Oh, okay.
Middlesbrough's that now, isn't he? I think.
Yeah. He's doing well.
You can't say that one man makes a team, though.
No, absolutely
really?
not. No, else Isel would have done it for us.
Yeah. Exactly. Of course he would.
They were rubbish.
They
especially
truly were.
Their guy at the back. I've written it down here with the long hair. Did you see him?
Yeah.
He had a short.
That's research. I like that. The guy at the back with the long hair.
He looked a bit like George Boyd, but he didn't have Boyd's likability.
Panache.
He had a go, didn't he? Like, I don't know, sometime in the first half, and it must have been. It nearly went out for a corner, and he went mental at everyone else around him. And you just think, mate, you're just appalling. You're not even a half decent footballer, and he's pointing and shouting at people. It was just it was a bizarre old first half, wasn't it, really?
It wasn't. He put another thing down here as well, the substitutions.
Yeah, that was just...
30 minutes.
I mean,
strange thing. They took their best guy off, didn't they?
Yeah, the number 10 was definitely the best player on the pitch. I mean,
by a country mile for them, wasn't he? I mean, he was... And I thought, cheers, Darren.
Tenacious, I think the word was, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was having a go, and he looked like the only player they had who was sort of likely to do anything.
He hit the upright, didn't he? In the first half. I thought he was very small, though. He wasn't a tall man.
Not that we don't have a problem with that. That's not something we hold against people.
It was good. He was a little fella, but he was all right. Yeah, it was a strange thing. Old Ferguson might have well just held up a big sign saying, "I resign," because it's taking those blocks off. You just think, I could not, for the life of me, see what that was about. That was just a weird thing to do. And
the fans clearly, I mean, the first sub, they just kind of, they didn't applaud, they didn't do anything. When the second one was announced, they booed him straight away. Yeah. And that was kind of, I think that was the point at which he whatever had happened after that, I think he was probably gone.
Good.
Which was funny.
I feel really left out here because I wasn't there.
Where were you?
We didn't. Sorry, hand.
Oh, hand. Yeah.
No hand.
What's your excuse for a home match?
I was on a stag do in Liverpool. And
what's your excuse?
The excuse. I was coherent though. I was watching Final Score with.
You didn't miss much.
With one of my friends. Yeah, it wasn't it though? As soon as I went up at half time. Actually, to be fair, I was still doing a service to the team because I was texting through the Bristol and Swindon scores alike as they were coming in.
Yeah.
So I was doing something towards it, but.
Well, that's all right then. Thanks.
I feel like I've let everyone down.
Well, you have. You missed a good one. To be honest, it was a really good day. I mean, I think if you'd have offered me the chance, to be honest, even if we were mid-table right now, and you'd said at the start of the season we'd beat Posh 3-0 at home and get Ferguson sacked, I'd have probably taken that. But to have it pushing us, firmly into second place was just gorgeous.
I would have thought, sorry to interrupt, but I would have thought that like McAntony would have had a bit more class about him and waited until maybe after this week to sack him, really, because you couldn't have just rubbed his face in it anymore. I mean, I don't care what they say about us, or like, it's a big rivalry, whatever. It is a sort of a rivalry, and we don't like him, he doesn't like us, but to sack the guy directly after, it was just, I say thank you very much. It was
I had one of those epiphany moments as well, because on Friday night, I don't know if I posted on the old Facebook thingy that I didn't have exactly the best of nights on Friday, and I felt really rough on Saturday. And yeah.
How are you feeling now?
Where's the music? Anyway, had the epiphany moment and actually listened to the wife when she said go, and I'm so glad I did.
Yeah,
it was all right. I quite enjoyed it.
I had a great time. I mean, there's just so many bits in it. I think it was one of those where, I was chatting to people at work about this, and lots of the people I work with, they don't really get football. And I sort of was chatting to a guy I know really well, and I said it was fantastic. We beat them 3-0, got their manager sacked. And he essentially looked at me and said, you can't celebrate something like that. It's like, blooming can, and I intend to.
About football, obviously.
No, that's what it comes down to. Yep. And it was one of those where, actually, I can and I will, because it was brilliant. It's just gorgeous. Have I said that twice, I think?
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Something else that was gorgeous was the manly handshake from Griggy. That was something else, wasn't it?
There are some weird celebrations going on.
That was a belting one, patting him in the back handshake. That was good. I loved that. I really genuinely thought that was hilarious. I have to watch it 2 or 3 times on the old telly to see what he'd actually
Did he really
done.
mean to do that? Is that what he's
Yeah,
intended to do?
but he did look very, very deliberate and rehearsed
Very
in
funny.
comparison to the Griggle at the Pottle or something. I don't know.
What do you reckon to
The
their
Potter.
fans shouting handball every time that we touched the ball? I thought that was getting...
I couldn't work out what it was, and then I
How
heard.
many we all started shouting it back. They were idiots, those guys. I had fun of them, I got to be honest. I mean, I don't dislike them in the way that I dislike Celtic supporters or AFC supporters, but I don't like them, you know what I mean? They're like arrogant guys, aren't they? And you used to get them when they're on the MooCamp all coming in and like rubbing it in your face. I'm glad he got sacked. I don't like him. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy at a nicer time for to do it. So get stuffed ass.
Apart from that, you don't really have an opinion on
I've
it.
got to say,
No,
I've got to say,
you're on
actually,
the fence.
Somebody with a bit of sense on the old roundabout was Sir Bob the other day. He came on and he was in complete agreement with everything that had gone on and complete agreement with the way that we controlled the game and was very magnanimous. Really.
Yeah, I was quite. I'd asked him before the game whether he thought Ferguson would survive, and he said he'll certainly get through the match, but not till the end of the season.
Well,
Technically, he got through the match, just didn't get very much past the match.
I've written someone else down here that made me laugh. Was that old woman packing her flag up before half time?
Yeah. We spoke about it at half time.
She was late in her, wasn't she? The game had kicked off and they were all messing about with her flag, and I'm thinking, you're catching my eye. That's very annoying. And then about 43 minutes, she wanders across and starts packing it up, and I just thought, don't be doing that. That was just so funny.
And
pack your flag up and go.
And went home before half time. That was great.
Funny as you like. Well, there was loads of them leaving. I don't know if they were going up for a drink or what, but it was so funny.
She might have just been taking her flag for a drink. We have to, the possibility is there.
You can take your flag to water, but you can't make it drink.
You can't make it drink.
What about the fully dressed streaker at the end?
Did he actually end up on the pitch? Because I just saw him being chased around.
He tried so hard to actually get down there, but he didn't make it.
I have missed so much, haven't I? I feel like I've been away for a year.
Yeah, it was the best.
What's going on?
You'll never have a match like that again. It was fantastic.
The
The free
second
money
half
they
was,
gave out.
Yeah, they did.
Free money,
what?
yeah.
Have a
All
pie.
the
they
sex,
said.
it was brilliant.
I mean, I couldn't see the point of the fans that had bought their tickets in our end either, that got escorted out halfway through the first half.
I heard,
some of them?
that was
I didn't
you
see
said that.
that.
Someone said they were opposite me, so over in the east end.
Yeah,
somewhere.
it was directly opposite you.
Yeah,
where they were
I
sitting,
didn't see. I must have been watching the game.
Why
a bit
would you be
weird.
doing that?
I didn't see that, to be quite honest.
It was
didn't see any of it.
right on the point of the second goal.
Yeah, cool. I thought Robbo's celebration at the third was really funny because he was going
It was a little bit
mental.
over
I saw that. I did see that, so I can talk about that a little bit.
Can you?
It's-
What would you
yes.
like to say about that?
Well, I'd
Johnny?
like to say I think it's great to see such emotion from a manager, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was
Such positive emotion
You know,
because he
it-
shows the negative
yeah,
stuff all
exactly.
the time. And I
And
just
it was a big highlight of the minute and 44 seconds that I watched the match. So I really enjoyed it. Good goals, though. I think we scored good goals.
the second, we didn't even mention those.
That
The
second
second
goal.
two,
Yeah.
second and third.
Third one
Yeah.
was
Unbelievable.
Fantastic
Yeah.
goals.
He had a great game, old matey, whose name
Yeah.
escapes me.
Mr. Reeves.
That's it, Reeves.
Yeah.
Eh?
I think when you look at the fact we didn't have Delhi, we didn't have Dave, that was a great performance.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
really,
I don't think-
really good.
I mean, it wouldn't have mattered who would have been in goal, to be quite honest. I mean, they were just poor, weren't they?
They had
They
nothing
had
to
one
offer, yeah.
half-decent shot and they took the guy straight
Good
off
confidence.
Yeah,
after.
I'm going to
Well,
say the only decent shot they did have, and they took him straight off afterwards. But
know.
that, to be fair, had beaten Ian all hands over.
Oh, we
There's
done.
not a
Goodness
chance.
me!
But
Sorry, Monaco have just
I'd
gone
like
one
to say
up.
with the
Cracking
Football
goal.
League paper,
Yeah.
putting Carl and Ben in the team of the week, I thought that did Potter a
A
disservice.
disservice, yeah. He was sensational.
He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, when you've got a player that can quietly control the game in such a way that he did, and it was forwards and backwards, and not actually get picked for the Premier League team.
Yeah.
For the Premier
League team would be
for the Football
a
League
bit
team.
of a.
That was the
Something.
the emotion you just showed there. Seriously, if you could have seen the look in his eyes, that was
Oh, it's
that was
really?
deep. That was touching. Well done.
This is a beautiful thing.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, I'm quite interested. Shall I leave you two too? Because
It
kind of
doesn't
gazing into
come
each other's
across,
eyes.
does it? on
Did you
radio?
just say gaze?
Gaze.
Can you
Gazing?
With
Oh,
a
it's
Z,
a
with a Z,
deflection,
not
sorry.
a Y.
Shut up.
Stop talking football. We're trying to have a romantic
A
moment.
deflection off Big Per Mertesacker there.
Okay, look, we probably need to talk about some other stuff. But I mean, for me, great day. They don't get much better than
No,
that. It
definitely
was
not.
great.
A good day from start to
I
finish.
think
Really was.
first half absolutely fantastic. We were great, and they were rubbish. Second half they gave us a bit more to think about, but
I don't think they did, to be honest.
No,
We
I
just
don't
took our
think
foot off the gas.
The one thing I want to say, everyone's
were
talking
done.
about their fans, and I thought other than a 10-minute bit at the start of the second half, I thought they were awful.
They were pathetic. They really were.
How many? It looked to me like they only had 700 or 800, but apparently they had 1,700 or something like that.
I think they're
I'm
official
really
was
rubbish at
1750,
estimating.
something like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was all right.
It's pretty hard, to be honest, to estimate the numbers when they're all pushed in that corner. And
That's good, though.
There was loads of tweets coming out about that from them on that night as well. What were they thinking about? They were going to be antagonised by us being behind the goal, or we're going to intimidate their goalkeeper? No, it's just something we do now, and I think
it's funny.
It's paying off as well.
It's good to see us doing it for once, because usually we're quite nice, as Rob said.
Too nice.
Yeah.
So you see, bit of mind games. Why not?
Yeah,
Absolutely,
definitely.
yeah. Okay, I've got loads of tweets and stuff coming in, and we'll pick up on those in a minute. But to start off with, let's just do this.
Hi, blessings to each and every one of you. Join me, Darren Hoy, with the Reggae Takeover Show for 2 hours of the finest reggae vibes, each and every Wednesday, 9 through to 11 p.m, here on Secklow Sounds. Don't miss out on your weekly Sunshine Fix, featuring Roots, Rude Boy, Dub, Lovers Rock, Ska, One Drop, and much, much more. So go on, give your sound system a treat. Join me, wind down low, and skank the night away. One love. That's Wednesdays, 9 through to 11 p.m, live on Secklow Sounds.
Get it up, my selector.
You're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show. This is the point of the show in which I look at Gers and say, yep, it's that bit again.
Hi, coming up, we've got a major breakthrough in football broadcasting as we bring you, the first of a new series of sacked managers and their clothing choices. We will not be letting young Albie teach us how to communicate because he's not here with his lesser mortals and all that kind of business. We'll see if we can generate some more intra-sibling squabbling with Lisa or Carolyn. Go, John.
Lisa.
Hey,
Oh, God.
Carolyn.
And we'll probably be mentioning Man United again and their ex-manager's son, who now, like his dad, followed in his dad's footsteps, is now an ex-manager.
He has ceased to be.
Lovely. So some more texts and tweets, and it's a conversation that's been going on for a while now. So Dara from Poland has tweeted in to say that he's going to be putting the R back in Peterborough. That's right, isn't it? Very soon.
The rough back in Peterborough. It's kind of one of those ones that only works written down. That makes modders giggle.
But he'll need some time, which I think we can all agree. Ian from MK1 has tweeted, there's a shock, saying that it's a great feeling to be the second worst keeper on the pitch. # more of this, please. Alex from Manchester has texted in to say, he has texted in to say, if he was still manager at Man United, he'd be...
Are you disputing this?
He'd be recalling any players that had been on loan in Poland. Again, but he isn't, and they aren't any. So even if he could, he couldn't, but he'd like to. A text from someone naming themselves as someone's wife says that she's not looking forward to spending more time at home, as that never ends well. Everyone from Peterborough has tweeted in to say anything. Hasn't tweeted in to say anything at all, which is probably completely
It's easier when I read it.
unconnected to the current poor performance in the league. That was absolutely terrible. I've got some more texts as well.
What you got?
My favourite boss in the world, Verity Affleck, has texted me to say, I'm listening to the show. Why are you talking about football? Which I don't think she understands the concept of the show. And Joe Ball, who also went to Liverpool with us, said, why didn't you say my name earlier? So, Joe Ball, there's your name.
There you go.
Anyway, you're listening to Twilly Stag Do on the MooCamp Radio Show, apparently.
Live from Liverpool.
Few bits to pick out. We'll come to that one in a minute. Peter Fairweather said, is Gers the new Albie? He's probably not good enough to be the new Albie, to be honest.
Well, I'm here for a start, isn't it?
Robert Lewis says, radio show, oh how I've missed thee. Which is, that's quite beautiful actually, that's poetic. And that's probably all of those we've got. What's coming in on this one? Oh, we got it. Okay, I've got a couple of guesses for the roundabout of the week, which I'll have a listen to in a minute. But to start off with, because all these people are doing stuff, can you tell them how they can get in touch, please?
Indeed I can. You can contact us by comfortably sitting down whilst doing a Google search on the meaning of the word cathosophobia. And I think that's the first time on the show there, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
Good evening. Or, alternatively, you can use more conventional methods. You can contact us on Facebook, and we're at facebook.com/the MooCamp. You can tweet us using the hashtag the MooCamp during the show. You can email radio@moocamp.com. You can text 80085, and remember to start your message with "It's an oxymoron, moron," or else it won't reach us. Of course, normal text service will be resumed.
Great one, thank you very much.
You're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show on Secklow Sounds.
because you have impeccably good taste.